Summer is here, which means for many hosts around the country and truthfully around the entire world, a busy season for Turo hosts is also here. Summer is a great season for Turo hosts because people are traveling, kids aren't in school, and well, people need cars. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down what you can do this summer to prepare for your best earnings months yet. I'm going to be talking about some of the things that you should be keeping in mind, how to stay utilized, and just how to crush the season overall. So let's get started. Don't forget that I do have my course, the Car Sharing Masterclass, which teaches you everything you need to know about starting and scaling a car sharing fleet. You can use the code OFFER100 to get $100 off, and you can check out the link down in the description below. Now, one thing to keep in mind with your Turo fleet this summer, and this is especially true if you're somebody who's actively scaling your fleet and having a large amount of cars during the summer months, maybe something new to you, or if you're somebody who's just getting started with Turo and this is your first summer season, and that is AC systems. I truly cannot stress this enough. Check your vehicle air conditioning system and try to be as proactive as possible with your AC, or at the very least have a plan in place if the AC of your car goes out. This is something that has historically been a bit of an issue with my fleet because of the fact that I'm located in Texas and Texas summers are brutal. And during August and July of the summer months, temperatures can reach 110 degrees for multiple days at a time, and this puts a ton of stress on vehicle air conditioners. Not only can this create issues with AC systems and how they operate within vehicles, but can also cause issues with guests' expectations with your vehicle. Guests will rent a 12-year-old car and then complain that the AC doesn't kick on and cool down the car instantaneously, and this does create some friction in the summer months. Not to mention when ACs have to work harder, they also tend to break more frequently, which can also cause problems. And the thing is, I have found that this typically happens most prevalently during 2 points of the summer season. First is whenever it first starts getting warm and hot outside. Whenever ACs are being used more consistently, they're being put to the test more often. This is oftentimes where ACs break. It's right at the beginning of the summer months. The second is whenever it gets really, really hot. We have found that our AC systems work with no real issues until it gets about 105 to 110 degrees. 110 degree heat puts a ton of stress on ACs, and it can create a huge headache if not planned for. Preparing for this early, checking to make sure that your AC system works, and making sure that you have a plan in place in case your AC does stop working. These are all good practices to have during the summer months. And obviously, if you live in cooler climates, this is much less of an issue than if you live in hot climates. Next is pay attention to your pricing. Your daily rate is the most important aspect of your Turo listing. More important than photos, description, even the type of car. Okay, maybe availability is more important than pricing, but pricing is a very close second. I'm currently running an experiment comparing auto pricing to manual pricing. And while I am going to do a full-length video breaking down my findings on this experiment, one thing that I have learned over the last couple of months is just how incredibly important it is to actively manage your Turo vehicle pricing and the daily rate. Managing your daily rate is an active, not a passive role. Now, I have always been a big proponent of active calendar management. I talk about it in my course, the Car Sharing Masterclass, and I've made many videos about it before. I look at my vehicle pricing every single day, and historically, I haven't used Turo's auto pricing because I found it to be a bit inaccurate and unreliable. But over the years, more and more hosts have been telling me that they really rely heavily on Turo's auto pricing, and so I decided to put it to the test and do a multi-month-long trial. And while I'm not going to dig into my findings today, one spoiler I do have for you is that active price management is crucial regardless of what pricing method you choose, whether you're a manual price management person or an auto price management person. If you set your pricing to auto pricing and then you just set it and forget it, your cars are going to be underutilized. I like Turo's auto pricing from the perspective of it can help you be proactive for multiple months in advance. For example, with Turo's auto pricing, you can automatically increase the pricing for dates like 4th of July, Labor Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. But I have found time and time again that if a car is sitting at my lot, Turo doesn't adjust the pricing in order to get that car booked out. For example, Turo may recommend that your car be priced at, say, $37 per day. But if you have multiple cars sitting at your location and you're using Turo auto pricing, there is no way that that car should be priced at $37 a day. It should be priced lower to get a booking and get it out of your lot. You need to adjust your car's pricing according to what your cars are doing, not necessarily to what the market conditions say a car should be priced at. And while Turo auto pricing can be a great tool, it can help create a great baseline for your pricing, it shouldn't be trusted 100% of the time passively. Actively manage your pricing in your calendar this summer and you will make more money. Another component that you should be keeping in mind this summer with your Turo fleet is just just your general availability. I will shout this from the rooftops as long as I'm making YouTube videos, but keeping your calendar 100% open and keeping 24/7 availability on your vehicles is going to be the best path that you should take if you want to keep your cars as utilized as possible. I cannot stress how common it is for Turo hosts to reach out to me and to say, hey, I have this car that I listed on Turo, but it's not getting booked out. Can you take a look at the listing? And after I've dug into the listing, I found out that the cars have very tight availability. They have over 24-hour advance notice. The car just isn't available to rent. I understand if some hosts are more casual and don't want to be available 24/7. I also understand if you're a host and you need more than 1 to 3 hour advance notice to get your car ready for a booking. But what you need to understand if you choose to go this route is that your car will be less utilized, and that's just a fact. There really is no wrong way to go about doing it, and it really does depend on what your long-term goals with Turo are. But if your goal is to stay 100% utilized or as close as 100% utilized as you can, then keeping your calendar open and your availability open is going to be crucial to that goal. Now, the settings that I use for my fleet are as follows. I have 24/7 availability, 1 hour advance notice, 3 hour trip buffer time, 1 day trip minimum, and any day trip maximum. I then use my calendar to manage my day-to-day availability. For example, if a car is getting returned at say 1 p.m., and I know that I'm going to be gone from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m., and I'm not going to be able to make it to that car to check it out right whenever it gets returned, then I will simply block off that car until I get back and I know I'll be able to check out the vehicle. I also will do this oftentimes in the evening whenever I'm done with work for the day. We use our calendar as a way to manage our day-by-day bookings. That way we're not working around the clock. And while this is a skill set that you have to learn and practice, it does become easier as time goes on, and eventually it becomes borderline second nature. Don't overthink the topic of availability, but similar to prices like I just talked about, there is a level of active management that comes along with your availability. Now, these are just a few of the components that can come into play whenever we're talking about keeping your cars well utilized for the summer. And there are other important factors that could include things like photos, vehicle type, and of course your overall vehicle listing and description. But I do strongly believe that if you focus on the 3 core things that we talked about in this video, including your AC and vehicle maintenance, calendar availability, and pricing, if you do these things and really focus on them, you should have a strong summer. Now remember, my course, the Car Sharing Masterclass, is down in the description below. You can use the code OFFER100 to get $100 off. And like always, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, if you have anything to add, I would love to hear it, so make sure to leave a comment down below. And while you guys are at it, make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.